can go to her if we need to chat. And this is where I'm supposed to be looking over there.
Oh, no. Aloha, everybody, and welcome. I'm Beth Tokioka. I'm the Communications Manager for Kauai Island Utility Cooperative. And we are so happy you've joined us for the 2021 Calendar of Student Art Awards presentation. This is actually the 18th annual Calendar of Student Art Contest, and it's our most unusual to date. Now, normally we'd be holding this event at the Kauai War Memorial Convention Hall, and all the students would be here, and the parents and the teachers and our staff and our board, and we'd be eating wonderful food. But obviously with COVID going on, we couldn't do that this year. So, you know, in fact, everything about the calendar contest was different this year, pretty much. So we want to thank everybody involved for being flexible and enthusiastic in spite of all the challenges. Our students stepped up, our parents stepped up, our teachers stepped up, and our judges sure did step up. And behind the scenes making it all happen is KIUC's Public Information Specialist, Shelley Pike, who's here with us today on the panel. She handles all the details and the coordination for the contest. We are so, again, thrilled that you're here, and I want to introduce who's here with us today on our Zoom panel. So we have quite a number of our board members, and this is in no particular order, but we have Calvin Murashige, we have Phil Takbian, we have our board chair, Alan Smith, hello, Peter Yukimura, David Iha, Janet Cass, Dee Crowell, and I think Jim Mayfield just joined us as well. I hope I got everybody. I mentioned Shelley Pike from staff. We also are really happy to have our president and CEO, David Bissell, here with us this evening. And last but not least, we have our judges, and these gals have been with us for years, maybe every year, I'm not sure. But the wonderful mother-daughter duo of Carol Kahn and Lisa Kahn Mako, thank you ladies for being here with us and for all you do for this event every year. So this year we had to go virtual. Normally we meet with the teachers and the principals, but we had to rely on email, and we had to rely on ads in the newspaper and Facebook posts to get the word out that the contest was on and that we were taking submissions. And, you know, our teachers had so many other things to think about, but we were so pleased that they love this contest, and we had our art teachers really work extra hard to make sure that we made this happen. And we will normally in a normal year receive more than 1,000 entries for this contest, physical pieces of art that come to our offices at KIUC. And it's really a massive effort to facilitate this blind judging process that Carol and Lisa go through every year. I mean, literally we'll take it grade by grade, and we'll have hundreds of pieces of art out on the tables, and they'll go and they'll winnow it down. And I don't know how they do it, but they come out with the winners, and it's just wonderful every year. But this year we had to do it all by email. So the artist had to actually take a photo of their art and send it in via email, and our judges had to judge it that way, not actually seeing the artwork in person. And so it was extra tough. And so I wanted to just invite Carol and Lisa, if you just wanted to talk about that, what it was like this year, kind of the challenges, what worked well, and what was the experience of judging virtually.
Okay. Yes. Well, thank you, everyone. Lisa and I love doing this. It is the highlight of my life every year. I can't tell you how much I love it. And I have to give kudos first to Shelley.
Oh, we've lost your audio.
We're sorry.
There we go.
Shelley has organized everything in such a way that it really takes a lot of the pressure off. This year was difficult in that we couldn't hold the artwork. We couldn't see it. We couldn't get a real sense of the perspective and the texturing, and everything was more flat looking. So that was, for me, that was the hardest part. Yeah. That it was just a photo. So we're taking a photo of mosaics. We're taking a photo of
pastels.
Oils. We're taking a photo of pastels. And so they all had almost the same texture. So we had to really look at each piece and sort of blow it up from our iPads to their computers and get more of a sense of the brushwork and the drawing and what they did. Obviously, it's the overall piece that actually won, but it was very difficult, very difficult. Have anything to say?
Well, we appreciate, yeah, we so appreciate you hanging in there and doing it in spite of, you know, what were some challenges, and we really appreciate it. We're going to be in a minute seeing all the artwork page by page, and these wonderful ladies are going to give us some little comments on it. But for our students, it's really quite an honor to be included in the calendar of student art, and we're just so proud of the kids that do participate. And it's something that hopefully they are very proud of. And you know, hopefully if you're a student watching and you're one of our winners this year or a past winner, you're putting that on your resume. I mean, it's quite something to be in a calendar that is distributed to more than 20,000 people. And so those will be going out in the mail shortly, and all of our members will be getting one, and you'll be living in all of these households for the next year, which is pretty amazing. We also want to thank our teachers, and if any of you are watching right now, we thank you so much. You have had so much to deal with this year. You never get enough credit for the job that you do, and we really appreciate your commitment to this calendar. And we didn't get quite as many submissions as we did in other years, but we had hundreds. And you know, for you to be able to focus on this in light of everything else, we so appreciate that. And you know, and congratulations to the winners. So without further ado, I'm going to ask our board member, Phil Takbian, who is our MC every year. We really appreciate Phil doing this for us, to take it over and to announce our winners and show us the artwork. Phil, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Beth. We'll start out with our monthly winners. These winners will each receive a check for $100 and along with a medal that we'll send them in the mail. Following that, we will acknowledge our grand prize winner. The grand prize winner will also receive a check for $100, but she'll have a trophy, or he, whoever the winner is. Finally, we will acknowledge our honorable mentions, who will each receive a check for $50. And before we begin, I wanna again thank our judges, Lisa Khan Mako and Carol Khan. Mahalo for your work. Okay, we're gonna start now. The winner of the calendar cover. And the winner is the kindergartner from Alakai o Kauai, Piper Yay. Brown.
Oh,
yay.
Yay, Piper. This was so fun.
Look at the fish swimming and the mountains.
We knew immediately that this was going to be the cover.
Absolutely.
It stood out.
By far, just color-wise and movement, vibrant.
Yeah.
Very alive.
Yes, very alive. Very much fun.
Excellent. Thank you, Piper.
Okay, now we go to the winner for January. She is Nora Salosa, first grader at St. Catherine's School.
Another wonderful piece, Nora. This is actually a mixed media collage and paint. Mm-hmm. And there you can actually see the texture in the piece. And once again, lots of color, vibrant.
It was Monet right off the bat.
Right off the bat.
We could just see Monet sitting by the lake, watching the sun go down with the sailboats going. So just go find a book on Monet, Nora, and you'll see your piece.
Great job.
Okay, the winner for February is Kenna Silva, second grader from Kapa'a Elementary.
Yes, Kenna. This was a painting on canvas that Kenna did, and she's absolutely terrific.
Yes. It turned out that Kenna had submitted quite a few entries, and though the composition and use of color stood out in this koi pond. For a second grader, the use of her brush for contrast and texture was really interesting to note.
Yes, and you can see the brush strokes and note that, yeah. Wonderful.
Okay, we go on to March, and the winner is Kaylee Ann Fuji, third grader at St. Catherine's School.
Yay, Kaylee.
Very fun.
Very
happy. Very happy.
We like the reflection inside your fish bowl and your little fish, the flowers, the texture, the slate floor, and the perspective, yes. I think this was a challenge given to many of the students in her class, and we looked at each of them and we found that this was really one of the best, and we really enjoyed the colors. Thank you, Kaylee.
Okay, the winner for April is Alea Kanahi, fourth grader at Island School.
Well, this seemed to be the year of the mosaic, and this piece stood out as the entire world of the mountains, suns, skies seemed to be in continuous motion. Seems to be a simple piece, but it's not, because at the same time, there's a lovely sheer reflection in the glaze of that water below. This one here, I would really love to see in person, because I think there's a lot more than what we can see in the photograph.
Perfectly said. I agree completely. There's a lot of beautiful color and contrast, and yet it's soothing. I too would like to see that one in person.
Yeah.
Thank you, Aliyah. Great job.
For the month of May, fifth grader at Alakai, Kauai.
This was fun, Moses. And we just realized when we see your picture that this is a self-portrait. Your use of color, bright color, especially the fuchsia, was wonderful. Though I think it was the glasses that brought my attention to this piece at first.
Very now.
Yes.
Fun.
Today. You took a very serious subject and you made a beautiful work of art out of it. Thank you, Moses.
Great job.
And don't we all want that mask? I want that mask.
Yes, I want that mask.
Okay, now we go to the month of June. Sixth grader at Kapaa Middle School and also a student of 10,000 Hands Art Studio is Abby Winters.
Well, I think Abby rides horses. Either that or she rides geese. And I'd love to learn about her dreams of flying. She did. It's a fun piece. And I think it's also a self-portrait now that I see Abby's picture next to the piece.
I do too, yes.
Thank you, Abby. That was fun, really fun to see.
And now we have Daisy Keller, seventh grader at St. Catherine's School, the winner for July.
Wonderful, Daisy. This pastel, bold, just really captured our attention right then and there when we were looking at the pieces.
Great expression.
The eye, there's an aliveness in the bird that with the expression that Mom said. Mm-hmm. It's really a wonderful, dramatic piece.
There's only 5 colors there. Mm-hmm. And you did wonderful with them. Yeah.
Yeah. Very good job, Daisy. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Daisy.
Okay, the winner for the month of August is Wailani Olan, 8th grader at Kapaa Middle School.
We might need a year to talk about this one. We studied this, Wailana. This is such a great, another self-portrait I see. I'd love to know if this is your room, if this is your art studio, because that's what it seems like. It's your textures, use of color, detail, so much detail. We looked at this picture for a long, long time. It's very fascinating.
Good that people will have it up for a whole month so they can see new things every day when they look at it, Wailani. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is really great.
I think this is a piece. Go ahead.
September.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. The winner for September is Julianne Pearson. She's a 9th grader at the Island School.
A beautiful piece.
Colorful, yet wonderful composition, use of black and white, use of color, shape, the spacing, so much of it. It is a dream of a piece.
For a mosaic, I want to say that I thought it was exceptional. Your use of the black and white newspaper and then the monochromatic blues, and then your detail for the profile of the woman within the whole face, so that there's multitude of ways to look at the piece, is excellent.
Really stood out.
It did stand out. Very nice, Julianne.
Okay, for the month of October, Kiana Lee Kamalani, 10th grader at Island School.
All right, Kiana Lei, we both agree about this terrific, timely piece, but the mom will talk about the background, as that there was something a lot about that.
Well, the background, for those people that don't know, is the Pantene colors. And every year Pantene brings another color to our attention, and that's what we're going to be wearing for an entire year. But here, Kiana Lei has used the Pantene numbers to differentiate all the different shades that you and I and everyone else in the world are. And it's moving. It's very moving, very moving. And then to bring it all together to this, you know, almost golden child in the middle, and then definitely make her a woman of color, strong, and to use the sign Black Lives Matter shows also her political beliefs. And I thought it was another good piece for now and for everyone who uses this calendar to have a conversation with.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Representing the month of November, 11th grader at Island School is Hiilani Ventura.
A wonderful Hiilani. This is a scratchboard piece. So the intricacy and detail work and steady hand, and yet also at the same time, there's a looseness and a flow and a movement to the koi fish and the water around it that really stood out beautifully.
Thank you, Hiilani.
For the month of December, the winner is Jessica Reljak, a 12th grader at Kauai High School.
This one was very different. It's a great piece for December, being with all the rich reds and greens for the holidays. It's also our Nepali, just the texture of the clouds, the water, each of the valleys. I just thought that was a really, also a timely piece, being that we've been spending more and more time in our island home. This is beautifully created and balanced with her colors and her textures of fabric.
Mm-hmm. And your detail, it's so meticulous. Yeah, I'd love to know how long it took you to do this, because we were following each of your threads there for a while, you know. Thank you very much, Jessica.
Yes.
Okay, and we come now to the grand prize winner. 8th grader at St. Catherine's School, Miss Shania Rosa.
Oh, Shania, this is a beautiful piece. The glow of the feathers. This is a pastel, and we were with this piece for quite a long time to determine that you were going to have the grand prize, and we can see that you have definitely a future in the arts, and that you should continue to pursue them. It's a beautiful piece, and we congratulate you.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, Shania.
Yeah, this piece glows.
Yes.
Okay, now we go to honorable mentions. There are many arts that came in, and all of them deserve mentions. And we start with Lehua Mahilona Taylor, kindergarten at Kauai Christian Academy and 10,000 Hands Art Studio, and also Umiko Koenig, first grader at Kilauea School.
Yes, great pieces. There was so much fun in the pieces this year. We've got this collage on the top with the mixed media, colorful cats. Just the placement was really wonderfully done. They made us laugh and smile. Umiko, digital work, really interesting. The parade of creatures, shapes, expressions. We thought that it had a lot of great detail, a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, continuing. Sophia Sahagun, first grader at Wilcox Elementary, and also Kyra Teruye, first grader at Wilcox Elementary School.
Both of these are pieces that we felt were beyond their age.
Absolutely.
They, both of these pieces show us that we'll be looking for their work next year in the years to come. They have a depth. Allie's work is extremely, what's the word I was looking for? But it had a lot of depth, yeah. A lot of depth. And Kyra's was very emotional.
Very, both of these.
Yes.
Quietly moving pieces.
Yes, both of them, very good. Quietly moving is a nice way of putting it. Thank you, girls.
Okay, the next is from
second grade.
Inala Eku Chok, who's a second grader at Island School, and Suilin Handa Rubin, second grader at Alakai Okoi.
These are terrific. I think they're both self-portraits. They're both there was emotion in Kaina's piece with the facial feature, the use of color and texture, almost like a collage a little bit. There was such feeling in that piece, and with a second grader to point out. And Suilen, the mask was obviously timely. I thought the hearts were playful and fun. The expression on the face of the girl, the clouds were very happy above the top. And you remember we were looking at these pieces in the summer, quite end of summer, fall. And so there was just a joy and a happiness to these pieces. Thank you so much.
Okay, next is Ku'ule Nizo, second grader at Tikaha Elementary, and Rock Olan Olan, second grader at Kilauea School.
Again, they're fun.
Yeah, again, they are. They're both very, very fun pieces. Note that they're second graders. There's a balance to the pieces. The detail in Rock's, the rainbow volcano and the clouds, there was just a lot going on and really nicely placed, great color. Ku'ule's kitty is adorable. Such a fun use of shapes and different colors and different brush strokes, and both very, very fun as well. Thank you.
Okay, now Nathaniel Eddy, third grader at St. Catherine's School and 10,000 Hands Art Studio, and Elise Lawhon, third grader at Island School.
These are really fun pieces. The Nathaniel's bird, we played with this one for a long time. the bird mobiles, we made them into bird mobiles. And the color, the shapes, the balance, the composition of this piece, I think is excellent. This one had a very, very strong chance of being first for the month. You know, it's so difficult when you have so many good pieces and you can only pick one. Elise, her pieces, we've seen her work before, but of course we didn't know that this was Elise's work.
This one's different.
Yes, it's a little different. And her use of color, and I think it's multimedia, as in different, like
pen and ink, as well as
pastel, and there's something else, which is difficult to tell, obviously, because we only see a picture of it. But there's great perspective in this little piece. Thank you very much, both of you. It was wonderful seeing your work.
Next art is Arabella Guino Coenca, 4th grader at St. Catherine's School, and Naya Char, 5th grader also at St. Catherine's.
Oh, wonderful. Beautiful use of color and shape. This was also a pastel multimedia collage mixed piece. The vibrant color, the way it was placed, the choice of color, just a very alive community there on that piece. It just really stood out. And the street, what are those called? Street, wires, cables. Naya, there was something so moving about your piece. The pen and ink, as well as the watercolor, and just the softness and the movement from one color to the next. There was just a really strong feeling in that piece. Thank you. Thank you both very much.
Okay, next is from Aubrey Artel, 7th grader, Waimea Canyon Middle School, and Ashley Chan.
These are great. This is
at Island School, 8th grade at Island School.
Yes.
Both of these were strong contenders.
Yeah,
for different reasons, but both of them very strong pieces. I loved the redheads. I loved looking and wondering what is she doing? What is she tasting? How does she feel? There's just a lot in that piece that keeps me drawn to it.
And the wonderful sneakers, the Nike, it's a watercolor piece. To have gotten the detail and the shapes done so well in that one, with the shoes and the laces and the color, that one's very alive. Excellent piece. Yeah, thank you so much.
Next piece was done by Misa Primacio, 8th grader at Island School, and Via Javinar, 9th grader at Kauai High School.
Yeah, Misa's piece is another one of those beautifully balanced collage pieces with the black and white newsprint surrounding the flower, the bird of paradise, and just her shape and the way the piece, the stamen and everything comes out with different shapes and colors was a very well done, striking piece.
And
Via.
Definitely Via, you caught RBG just the way she is. And we thought the drawing was done very, very well. We'd love to see some of the other things that you might draw in the future. But this was another timely piece and done well. Yes. Done very well. I think you have great sketching ability. Thank you very much, both of you.
And now we have Kyra Parmentier, 9th grader at Island School, and then other two, Haley Cox and Ryan Wells. They both 10th graders at Island School.
Well, we'll start with the first one here, Kira Lynn. There was so much feeling in that collage. I loved the play with the comic book on the side there, the intensity of the eyes, the gears in the head, and there's so much more going on. I'll let everybody find out for themselves, but there's a lot of intense and the shape of the collage pieces that have been placed in there, and the hold of the mouth. I thought that was terrific.
The gears in the brain.
We like the gears in the brain a lot. That worked out really well. And then
Haley, this I think is our first time that we've had a major piece that was done by computer. And we didn't know at first if it should be accepted. But I want you to know that we looked at it and said, this is just a new art form, something we haven't been introduced to yet. And this dog is done very, very well. So the skills that you need in order to work on the computer to create something like this, you have them.
yes.
And you did very well, and we wanted to reward you for that. Thank you.
And Ren,
And Ren.
we've seen some great pieces from Ren, and there was, as a watercolor, there's difficulty in watercolor in getting the lines just so, and the way they blend the color and to not lose control of the watercolor. This had a great feeling and emotion in the person. There was a lot going on for us with this piece, and I thought the choice of color and the look was really excellently done with watercolor. So all three of these made us happy in lots of different ways, and moved us. So thank you.
Okay, the final photos here is from Paulina Du, Sophia Riley, and both 12th graders at Island School.
These are both scratchboard pieces, and intense. Paulina's wolf is like very alive there. The intense look on the face, the detail in each and every scratch and stroke. Just a wonderful quality to that piece.
And the hair, Sophia, at first we just looked at it and
pretty,
and, you know, this is great, it's a hair. But then we pulled everything back, and then we looked at each piece individually and more deeply. And of course, as you know, we didn't have them in front of us. And then we started noticing more and more and more about this hair and the lines in it and the shape.
It's electric color.
It is. It really is. And I want Paulina and Sophia to know that these two pieces were really in contention for grand prize. Both of them are excellent, excellent pieces. So congratulations on having two beautiful works of art right here on the screen right now. Thank you very much, Paulina and Sophia.
And that concludes our presentation. Beth, I'll turn it back to you.
Okay, thank you so much, Phil, for helping us out every year with this. And for Carol and Lisa, we really appreciate your commentary. It helps us to really understand that, you know, we look at a piece of art. For me, I'm not an expert. I just think it looks wonderful. But I love to hear the thought process that goes into it, and we can really understand how much an artist does put into a work like that. So we really appreciate you helping us through that. So once again, we want to say thank you to all the teachers out there who help and nurture these students. Of course, the students, for your participation, and congratulations. And, you know, there's so many wonderful works of art that we didn't show today. We really hope you'll participate again next year, whether you were included today or not. Parents and family members, you know, obviously the students have your support, and it's really important. Again, Shelley Pike, our wonderful KIUC person who makes this happen. Amy Devitt is our graphic designer who lays out the calendar every year. And again, you're going to be getting that in the mail. If someone has a copy of it, you can hold it up. It's beautiful this year. It's got a black background. It's just really stunning. I think you're going to love it. But anyway, Amy, thank you so much for making it look beautiful every single year.
Yeah.
And our judges, Carol and Lisa, IT Kauai, thank you for helping us with this webinar today and for helping us get it on Facebook Live. Thank you so much. Of course, KIUC's Board of Directors and our President and CEO, David Bissell. You know, we couldn't do this if you didn't support it every year, if you didn't give us the funding to make it happen and really believe in it. So we so appreciate all of you who are here with us today in celebrating the artwork of these wonderful, wonderful students. So mahalo for joining us. We are going to close now, but if you want to watch again the video, we're going to just run the slideshow so you can take a look at the artwork one more time. We have some beautiful music from Kupa'oa, a fantastic group up on the North Shore, and we hope you'll enjoy it as we leave today. Enjoy the artwork, and we just say mahalo for joining us. Look for your calendar in the mail, and please have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Mahalo and aloha.
Mele kalikimaka.